My name is Minister Terry Scott, and I want to talk to you about choice, challenge, and change. We're living in a fast-paced world with many different choices, which can bring on many challenges that can result in change. Now, change is supposed to be for the good, but all change is not good. A choice, a challenge, and change has always been around. It was Adam and Eve who had a choice faced with a challenge that brought about the change in mankind's relationship with God. But it was God who had a choice when faced with the challenge of how to deal with us, decided to offer us the opportunity to change. We see choice, challenge, and change in Genesis chapter 3 between God's creation, Adam and Eve, against Satan. For it was in verse 3 that Eve reminded Satan that they had a choice. It was in verse 5 that Satan challenged what Eve was told, and it was in verse 7 that they, Adam and Eve, as a result of a choice to accept the challenge, brought about the change. Our choices, when challenged, can bring about change. Adam and Eve made the wrong choice based on a challenge that would change what God originally intended for man. And that's why we have so much trouble in the world today, because they handed down the disease of sin from generation to generation, and that is what is wrong with our world today. But we're thankful that our God also presents us with the opportunity of choice, challenge, and change. When you are born again, you take side with Christ. Many people today have many ideas of what a believer is. They think a believer is someone who prays, or lives by the golden rule, or is sincere, or goes to church, or keeps the 10 Commandments. But even in doing all those things, it's more than that. In a believer, there are three things. A believer is a person who has made a choice, a person who has accepted the challenge, and a person who has been changed through the new birth. You come to the cross of Christ and you choose him. But that choice came out of the choice that God offered us in Joshua 24:15, when God said, "Choose you this day whom you will serve." For in the challenge that comes from the choice for the world, the result can be fatal. For the challenge that comes from the choice of Christ, the results are eternal. Choosing Christ, we will deal with the challenge. For in Luke 9 verse 23, and he said to them all, "If any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me." Yes, choosing to live for Christ, that will be the challenge, one that no believer will have to live it by him or herself. Jesus promised in the guidance of the Holy Spirit that was sent to see that we be about the change that is required of all believers. That choice will be a challenge, but the change can come because God promised us in John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. What God offers us here makes the choice, challenge, and change worth it. As a believer, if you have made the decision by faith and by faith receive what Jesus said as the truth, you've been given new life, and your life has changed, and it's still changing this very day. As a believer, you have to make a choice. You have to accept the challenge in order for the change to come, and it will cost you. As a believer, we don't have a choice when it comes to going through, but we can let God lead us during the challenge while we're in it. When we do it this way, it will result in the needed change when we come out. Choice, challenge, change. Do it God's way, and he will show you it's worth it. God bless you, and thank you.